Hello everybody, it is Low Bracket Captain. Today I'm bringing you an Evil Knight tribal deck tech of Garland, Knight of Cornelia, one of my favourite Final Fantasy characters. I love Strangers of Paradise and I've been really wanting to make a deck featuring him, so here it goes. Let's take a look at Garland himself. He is a Rakdos commander of just simply a black-red. A human knight with the ability, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Surveil 1, which means look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard if you wish. You can also pay 3 to black and 2 red to return this card from the graveyard to the battlefield transformed as Chaos, which is a 5/5 flyer that when it dies, you can put on the bottom of your library. We will not be using any ability except the Surveil 1. He's really cheap, so you can keep summoning him back, and with him being a 3/2, he's a pretty nice little blocker to keep up and you can just keep surveilling. Our goal for this deck is to constantly surveil, get knights in the grave, and keep bringing them back to wear our opponents down and eventually win the game. Let's take a look at how we're actually going to accomplish this with his evil knights. There are a lot of very cool and evil looking knights in this deck, but let's talk about a few of the key ones which are really going to help you have a great board state. The first one is of course Haakon Stromgald Scourge. He is a 1/2 black 3/3 legendary zombie knight. You can cast him from your graveyard but not from anywhere else. While he's on the battlefield though, you can cast night spells from your graveyard. This is an incredible skill and is really going to help us. While we're casting non-creature spells and interacting with our opponent's side of the field, we are going to be surveilling, putting knights in the grave, and then we can constantly bring them out when we need them to do damage. He is a great card and you want to be able to get him onto the battlefield as quickly as possible once you've got a nice graveyard built up. Sir Conrad the Grim is also a key piece. For 3 and 2 black, he is a 5/4 legendary human knight, and essentially what his ability does is whenever another creature enters the graveyard, each opponent is going to take 1 life, and when a creature leaves your graveyard, each opponent is also going to take 1 life. You can also pay 1 and a black to make each player mill a card. He's really good. He's anti-mill. If someone's trying to mill everyone out, well, this is going to make everyone take a buttload of damage. You're going to get value from it. It's a great card. I currently run the Golbear's art because it is a Garland deck. I would highly recommend putting this into the deck. The next lot of essential knights are the Adventure Knights. These are knights with an adventure ability, which basically means you can cast them as a non-creature spell and then they go exiled and you cast them as a creature spell later. All of these are very cool and they help. Murderous Rider has got some creature and planeswalker removal, Embereth Shieldbreaker's got artifact removal, Foulmire Knight allows you to draw a card, and Order of Midnight and Fell Horseman both allow you to return a creature from graveyard to hand. All of these are incredibly good, they'll get the surveils, and if they die and get put in the grave, well, Haakon will let you recast them over and over. Some great knights, and they have some great abilities. Speaking of knights, let's talk about a couple more that I think are really cool highlights of the deck, like Blacklance Paragon, a 1 black human knight who is a 3/1 with flash, and when he enters, target knight gains death touch and lifelink till end of turn. This is incredibly good if he's in the graveyard. Say your opponent is swinging with a bunch of big creatures or just one big one. You can flash him in and give him death touch and lifelink. Yes, he'll die, but guess what? You can cast him again later, and because he's got flash, you can do it during your opponent's turns. The fact that your knights die really aren't much of a problem in this deck as you'll be constantly getting them back. This is one of my favorite key pieces of the deck, and if you can get this in your graveyard pretty fast or in your hand, it's amazing. There's a couple of other cheeky cards in the deck, like Knight of Dusk Shadow, which stops your opponents gaining life, and Stromgald Cabal, an ancient card which you can tap to pay 1 life and counter a target white spell. There's a lot of cards in the deck like this which are really going to help slow your opponents down and cause a little bit of, well, chaos. Knight of the Ebon Legion can give himself death touch and get strong. And lastly, the 2 knights I want to highlight is Josuv's Lich Knight, which will give you a buttload of Zombie Knight tokens, and Kulrath Knight, which stops creatures with counters from attacking or blocking. These are the higher end cost creatures, and Kulrath Knight is the coolest looking knight in the entire deck. Speaking of Josuv's, it's time to talk about 2 planeswalkers that appear in the deck as well. This deck runs Liliana Vess, an incredible planeswalker for the deck. She is 3 and 2 black. She starts with 5 loyalty counters. Her uptick ability allows a target player to discard a card, great for slowing an opponent down or getting something in your own graveyard. Her -2 allows you to search your library for a card and put it on top, great if you want to surveil something and drop it in, and her ultimate lets you put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. If they leave Liliana Vess and just don't bother with her, you will get great value from her. I have won a game with her by board wiping and popping her ability before. She is an incredible card in the deck. The other is Miss Rowan from the Eldraine set. She is pretty good as well, and she kind of has a similar ultimate to Vess, but on the battlefield instead. Her uptick allows you to gain +3 and first strike on one creature, which is great for doing extra commander damage. You can also -2 to deal 1 damage to 2 creatures and make them not be able to block. And her ultimate lets you gain control of all creatures until end of turn, untapping them and giving them all haste. So Liliana gets Graveyard, Rowan gets Battlefield. You've got your bases covered with both of them, and I feel like they both fit really well into the deck. They both cost 5 as well, so, well, turn 5, if you can drop one of these, it's pretty great. The instants and sorceries are pretty much what you would expect from your average black and red Rakdos deck. You've got stuff to pop opponents' creatures and artifacts, you've got Thrill of Possibility and Demand Answers to be able to discard and draw cards, you've got Dark Ritual to get you early mana. There's a lot of pretty classic cards that I feel don't really need to be covered. But there are a few important ones that are going to help with your game plan, which I'm going to go through very quickly. Lively Dirge is the first one. This is such an underrated card, especially for black decks like this. It's a 1 black sorcery with Spree, which allows you to choose 1 or more at additional costs. The +1 ability lets you search your library for a card to put into your graveyard, and then you shuffle your library, and the +2 ability lets you return 2 creatures with mana value 4 or less from graveyard to the battlefield. Ideally, you want to pay the entire cost for 5 total, and get Haakon Stormscourge into the graveyard and immediately put him onto the field so you can start getting knights out. Buried Alive also kind of does this. It allows you to put 3 creature cards in your graveyard, so you can whack 2 Adventure Knights and Haakon into the grave, or Sir Conrad and Haakon and maybe something else, and you can start playing them. It's a really nice card and is going to get your deck moving pretty fast. And the 2 big ones, Patriarch's Bidding and Rise of the Dark Realms, both do something similar. Patriarch's Bidding lets each player choose a creature type. Each player then returns all creatures of a type chosen this way from graveyard to the battlefield. Since this whole deck is full of evil knights, you will be getting the maximum value out of this card. You've got to be careful using this against other tribal players, but if you're going against someone who isn't that creature heavy, this can be a huge benefit to you. And Rise of the Dark Realms is basically Liliana's Planeswalker ability. Put all creatures from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. Now these last 2 are very expensive, Patriarch's Bidding being 3 and 2 black, and Rise of the Dark Realms being 7 and 2 black. So playing these, you're going to be playing them very late unless you've got a lot of nice ramp, but these cards, if you're playing them, you're pretty much going to be winning the game. Those are really all the major cards of the deck. Now, the rest of the deck list will be in the description along with the ramp and all of the other instants and sorceries and the land types. Honestly, I don't feel the need to go through lands because I feel like most people know you just plonk a bunch of dual lands in there, and the main ones, I guess, is Path of Ancestry and Conduit Pylons, which are going to help with your surveilling and scrying. But apart from that, I'm sure you can see how the deck works. You just get a bunch of knights onto the field, continue interacting with your opponent's board and surveilling until you have so many knights and you've worn down the opponents that you get the win. This is the ultimate test of your opponent's resilience. I hope you will enjoy playing the Garland Knight of Cornelia Evil Knight Tribal deck. I had a lot of fun playing this and building this. It's won a couple games, and honestly, it's just a blast thematically to play. If you guys have any questions about the deck or think you can improve it, please let me know, as it is a pretty low bracket deck. But until next time, I hope you enjoy trying it out, and let me know what kind of deck you'd like me to make next. I have been Low Bracket Captain, and I'll catch you next time.